So I'm here on a top secret build that you can see behind me that you'll learn more about on Monday's video. So Catherine's been working really hard on a bunch of different projects, and now she's going to take you and show you what she's been up to.
Yeah? Say it again.
Look at this fluffy little silky.
All right, so it's Friday night. It's pretty late. I have an event that John and I are going to on tomorrow night, and we would like to bring bouquets of flowers with us. So I'm at our old farm. I'm scrounging up what we have. Nothing's been weeded, watered, taken care of, staked, pruned, anything. Nothing's been pinched. So we're looking a little light, but I'm going to show you what we've got, and then I'm going to try to make two really nice arrangements for our family members to bring with us to this event. So what we have are some rudbeckia, some zinnias, some Sunday sage salvia, some mint. These are sort of normal black-eyed Susans, and then I have a few dahlias. Our dahlias are doing awful this year. Once they start growing through the tuber, they really are thirsty plants in our experience. So the fact that we haven't been here watering them or taking care of them, they're really suffering. I'm hoping that the tubers are still going to produce nice tubers for next year. So this year won't be a total waste, but we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is divide everything in half because I want to make two kind of nice arrangements. So I'm going to start with our dahlias. I've got like 5 dahlias. So I'm going to start with those as our sort of centerpieces. This one will make a little bit more pink, and then the other one will make a little bit more orange. So that's my plan, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to add my pink and maybe my white zinnias. The white zinnias that I'm growing, they're called polar bear zinnias, and they are having a lot of trouble with spotting. Where we live, we get a decent amount of rain, and I think the problem is that their petals are just not reacting well to getting wet. So that's something that I'm going to take note of for next year. Okay, so this is looking pretty cute to me already. I'm pretty pleased considering what's going on. So mint is continuing to be my favorite #1 filler of like the entire world. And it's nice that I'm doing this the night before when I want these to look good, because the day of mint, when you pick it, it sort of becomes like shocked of what you just did to it, and it has a little panic attack, and it takes about a day to kind of get its act together. So all right, I think that's going to be that for this one. Well, maybe let me put these salvias in. So this is going to be my pink one. Pink and purple, I guess, apparently. And then the other one's going to be pretty much white and orange. I'm going to add this one. Nice. Okay. So here we go, #2. I'm going to start same way, dahlias in the middle. Though this one was going to have fewer dahlias because it's got so many more rudbeckia and black-eyed Susans. And last week I gave my mom a bouquet that was just rudbeckia, so it was basically like this, and then I went and picked like wild Queen Anne's lace from the side of the road. Hi, Mom. And I gave that to her as a little present, and the rudbeckia just like sat there like an absolute champion, did not move, did not wilt, did not skip a single beat. And I think it's been over a week, and she just left for Boston, and I'm pretty sure the flowers still look just as good as like the second I handed them to her. The only other thing besides the Queen Anne's lace, which also did fine, were a couple lilies, and they were more of a daylily variety. So the buds on those will continue to open, but each flower itself only stays open for a day. So it's probably not something that I would like sell to somebody. Not that I'm selling anybody flowers this year, but you know. All right, look at that mound of happiness. And so this is focus. There we go. So I guess this could also, I don't know, are these even nice enough to put in? Probably not that one. So these could also be bug damaged. I'm not really sure what's going on with the white zinnias, but I'm happy that I learned this lesson, is I like the idea of white flowers, but I don't think I ever end up liking the execution of them. So, okay, and then these are the more wild black-eyed Susans. This bouquet is going to end up being massive. Is it going to make the pink one look puny? Is that okay? Beggars can't be choosers, right? Free gift. I'm not sure this one's even going to need mint. I just went and grabbed some more. Wow, look at that. These wild black-eyed Susans are something. Not wild, I mean I planted them, but you know. This is massive. Alright. Quick and dirty. I'll get that into a vase and I'll show you how it goes. Right? Looks pretty much exactly the same. This is the pink one. The pink one's maybe a little bit more like fancy. So depending on your mood, if you're fancy or wild. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is run you around really quick and show you some of the like absolute chaos that's been happening here since we left. Our obligatory stop to look at the fruit trees. I guess they're getting a little spotty. If anybody knows what causes that, feel free to comment down below. But all of our fruit trees, we've never in our wildest dreams had so much fruit being like so successful here. And these trees are a number of years old. They're just loaded. It's pretty impressive. All of our chicken coops are empty. It's like a little sad and quiet and weird here. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bumming me out. All of our chickens, so I mean, it shouldn't bum me out. All of our chickens are back at our house. So that's good. Let me show you what's happening with the kale. It's really interesting. So here I picked most of this kale and I fed it to the chickens, and then the rest of this type of kale is just chugging away. Right? This is the dinosaur kale. But then look at what's happening with this red Russian kale. I don't know. Maybe the people who live here are eating this, or I wonder if the deer have decided that this is a tasty treat. Oh, look, a tomato. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I ate like 4 tomatoes while I was harvesting flowers. So, not my first, but ooh, good one. So back here is where we planted all of our garlic. These are the scapes, which we were 10 out of 10 supposed to pick off. Wonder if I pull one up, what's happening down here? Oh, literally nothing. It's like just the clove that we planted. It's getting pretty dark, but these are our raspberry bushes. We are struggling. I think this is deer damage also. The deer are just wreaking havoc on us. Oh. So, I'm not sure. Look at that sad little raspberry. These are a yellow raspberry variety. These are called Anne. These bushes are just so pathetic. I feel sorry for them that we like abandoned them in their time of need. Still good. These yellow ones are pretty good. Focus. Not on me. Focus. Oh, my nails. Ugh. So this is the location of the tulip massacre that now wasn't replanted, wasn't weeded, wasn't mulched. So we are growing a lovely weed crop. These weeds are, I would say some of them are around 5 feet tall. This one's probably 6 feet tall. But check out these hydrangeas. So this is a tree form. See, it's just one trunk. It's a proven winner's Limelight Hydrangea. We bought 2 of them at the end of the year last year. Pretty nice. Look at all these sad little peaches. I know you're supposed to thin this fruit. I don't quite have that inside of me yet. I'm like not mentally strong enough to do it. So they'll probably never ripen and just fall off, but that's where we are right now. They're actually looking a little bit better. I wonder if some of these might, if I picked ripen on the counter. They're still rock hard. Those are pretty impressive though. I'm pleased by those. Are these the most insanely damaged by, what do you think, bugs? If anybody knows what would cause apples to do this. Little pepper plant putting forth a valiant effort. Good luck, my man. So that's pretty much everything. It's looking absolutely crazy here right now. I sort of feel bad that this is what we did to this farm, but we are where we are. So I think let's go home and let's see if we can maybe make something for dinner.
What are we doing here, Catherine?
We're making chicken chili nachos, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to voice it over. So like I said, today we're going to make chicken chili nachos together. This is a recipe that my best friend from college, Susie, introduced me to. She's the first person who ever taught me how to cook it, so now I'm going to show you how to cook it. So the first thing you do is get a pan preheating with some olive oil in it. This recipe we use chicken breasts, and you want to cut the pieces of chicken to be small, kind of bite-sized pieces. What this dish is going to turn into is sort of like a dip that you eat with chips. So however big you want to cut your pieces of chicken in order to have nice bite-sized pieces. So get all your chicken cut up. How much chicken you want to use will depend on how many people you're trying to feed. Up next is spices. These are the spices that you're going to be using. It's chili powder, cumin, crushed red pepper flakes, and Italian seasoning. We also put in fresh garlic, and if you don't have that on hand, you can definitely substitute in for garlic powder. Sorry, as usual, I do not have measurements of what spices you need, so you can just kind of eyeball it, and you can also adjust it to your taste. We went a little bit spice heavy in this batch because it was sort of a big batch. I have a ton of tomatoes coming up, so we used a lot of spices. Alright, so while the chicken starts to cook and brown in the spice mixture, the next thing you're going to want to do is cut up the garlic. You can use as much or as little garlic in this recipe as you want. We used 6 cloves of garlic, but use however you feel. So once you get those all peeled, you can give them a nice rough chop, and you want to get those in cooking with the chicken pretty early on so the garlic has time to get nice and developed flavor. So while your chicken and your spices and your garlic all get cooking down, the next thing you're going to want to do is chop tomatoes. This recipe is vastly improved if you have fresh homegrown tomatoes. Unfortunately, what we're cooking with here are store-bought tomatoes. So use whatever you've got on hand or use store-bought tomatoes, but let me tell you, you can really taste the difference when you use a fresh homegrown tomato. So sorry I don't have those to share with you tonight. And the other thing I will point out is I'm using a serrated knife when I'm cutting up these tomatoes. I feel that that's the easiest knife to use when cutting tomatoes, because sometimes tomatoes can have sort of a slippery or thick skin, and unless your knife is like deadly sharp, which mine rarely are, I find that a serrated knife just gets the job done a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. So that's my not top chef tip to anybody who may need it. But if you're slicing a lot of tomatoes, you might want to give it a try, because I found that it's a lot easier. So once you're done chopping up as many or as few tomatoes as you want, you're going to add those into your chicken once your chicken is totally cooked. By the time you add in the tomatoes, the chicken is not really going to do a lot more cooking, so you want to make sure each of these little pieces of chicken is cooked all the way through, and then once that happens, it's time to add your tomatoes. So we cut up probably about 6 tomatoes, and we're going to get those all added into the chicken, and we're going to let them cook down. As the tomatoes cook, they're going to release more of their tomatoey juices, and that is going to create the base for the chicken chili nachos. So as those cook, you can see you've got a little bit more tomato juice that's cooked down, and we're gonna add a ton of cheese. This is a Mexican blend shredded cheese. We get whatever is on sale from the grocery store usually, and as you cook that cheese and blend it down in with the tomato juice, it's going to turn into this creamy, delicious dip that you can eat with just a spoon, but we usually eat it with our favorite corn chips, any brand. When Susie and I were in college, we used to eat this dish right out of the pan, sitting on the floor of our college dorm, watching our favorite TV show. Now John and I usually eat it out of dishes, but if you're feeling adventurous, just go right for the pan. So we'll cut to John and let him tell us how it is.
Okay.
How is it? Too spicy?
Delish.
All right, so we have been incubating our I Am Samani hatching eggs from Dragonfly Farm in North Carolina, and they've started hatching, and John has seen them, but I haven't, so we're going to open them up, do a big reveal!
Big reveal!
Big reveal, and then move them into our freshly cleaned brooder. So let's get to work.
Wow. So we also have some silked white
I know,
eggers.
clearly not all
Although
of
interesting, this guy.
Yeah, he's got white skin. Alright, well the I Am Samanis look pretty good. There's no like really obvious like whiteness. Like, besides, you're not an I Am Samani. No.
Silker.
Silker.
How about the humidity thing?
Good suggestion. Bloop. Bloop. Oops. Egg stuck to you.
Yeah, that guy's a little light.
This guy?
Yeah. But they say like, I don't know. They say a lot of things.
I know, they say so many things.
Because that guy's got a white butt.
Which guy?
That guy. And a white
he's got a little
wingtip.
white wingtip.
But like, luckily, any of these guys who doesn't turn out to be like the breed standard of perfection or whatever,
They'll still be cool.
and they'll just end up in our egg layer flock.
That, and we'll pop up on the screen a picture that I found the other day of an I Am Samani rooster who had just like enormous amounts of leakage.
Major leakage.
But he looked so cool. They're like, whoa. 4, 5, 6, 7 out. And I think both the ones that I saw that were pipped but not out were also I Am Samanis.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 of these little silked white guys.
Yes, it's so interesting, that one that has the orange beak.
Yeah. Yeah, usually silkies have the blue skin. It's more normal.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Be sure to come back on Monday so we can show you what this is all about. Very exciting.
Jazz hands.
We put out new videos on Mondays and Fridays, and we go live every Wednesday, except for today, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you stop by and say hello next time.
Bye.
Bye.